What's up, y'all? I'm here on Out of the Park 22. I'm playing this game a lot lately just because I'm bored. And also, it's 1 in the morning, so not many people are around, not much stuff to do. So it's been a good game to just sink some time into. I just finished one of my other runs actually, so now I'm here starting a new one. And I figured I might record it and share it with you guys because, to be honest, I mean, this game is a lot of fun, obviously, but it's kind of hard to talk about it with people. Not everybody is a super baseball fan, let alone like a super baseball front office fan. So it's some cool stuff happens in this game. I'm a big fan, but not a lot of people are. It's kind of hard to find people to talk to about it. So I figured I would record it and upload it, and that many people will watch it. But that's not the point. Um, the point is I wanted to try something a little different. I've seen some Out of the Park series on the internet before, and so I have a decent idea of how I want to go about this, but I decided I would try and do something different. So as you can see, we are going to play as an expansion team. And what I did is I started in 2021. I let the thing. I started unemployed by a team, right? So I simmed through the whole season. We we went through it. We're on November 24th right now, so the playoffs just actually no, I think arbitration just ended. So we are at. Oh, hold on, I was gonna try and look for the playoffs. So yeah, here we are. This was the 2021 season. The Padres actually got through their wild card curse. They beat the Dodgers, they beat the Mets, and they won the World Series, which I feel like never happens. I feel like it's always they get the wild card and they either lose there or they get to the Dodgers and they lose to the Dodgers. But this time they were able to get past it. So good for them. Good for you, San Diego. Anyways, so yeah, where we are now, we're after arbitration, and I scheduled an expansion draft. So I've never done one of these before as an expansion team. So we're gonna see what happens more or less. I also want to show you some of the settings I did. I don't want to take too long because I want to do the expansion draft sooner than later. Sorry, I gotta find this guy here. Oh yeah, so I changed the development ratings. To make people age a little bit slower. Talent change randomness. I mean, that's always fun. Injuries aren't high because I mean, you know what? Mickey Mantle played his whole career without an ACL, so why can't my guys? You know what I mean? What else is there? Face gen, yeah, I turned on. Yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. Oh, AI settings, turn trading difficulty to hard. I left this in the middle because I mean, I don't even know what that does, so who cares? Oh, I changed this around too. I don't really know what all it affects. Actually, no, it affects the ratings, but I don't know. I've never done this before, but I figured I'd try it. Why not? League settings. This is where what's it called? Added the expansion draft, but whatever. It's not important right now. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's important. League settings, rules. Oh yeah, I turned on National League DH because it is after the 2021 season. Otherwise, I would have kept it on for realism's sake. But now we're hopefully past the point of pitchers hitting. Um, you know, just not interested in that anymore. I used to think it was cool until I started playing this game, and then I realized wow, having to pay attention to when your pitcher's coming up and stuff like that is just such a pain. So, just no thanks. What else? I've changed this so that way, I kept the evolving league on because it's interesting, but I turned off the designated hitter rule because what happened one time is I played and I turned it off, and then as soon as the season ended, the league turned the designated hitter rule off again, so the pitchers hit again, and I went back and changed it right away so that there would be a DH in both leagues. But the fact that this can happen is just silly, so I figured I'd just remove it. The other thing that also happened one time is that the free agent minimum service went down, which I mean, in real life and for players' sakes, theoretically this would be good. But if you're talking about a parity standpoint from the league, I mean, if you give small market teams, or in my case, an expansion team that's bad, if you take away their years of control on some players, I mean, that's just gonna butcher the parity in the league even more because the teams that spend money are just not gonna be competitive for. Or, well, will be even less competitive, I should say. So anyway, I figured I would just leave that off. You can always change it if it does happen, but just what's the point, right? Same with this one. Let's see. This one I didn't really mess with this. Historical, blah blah blah. Yep. All right. Well, that's that. So yeah, I think I'm going to. Oh, one other thing that I did is because there's 32 teams now, I changed the divisions around so that it's more like it's like football now. So there's 4 teams in each division. There's North Division, South Division, East Division, West Division. So I'll show you what I did. East Division, it's the same except for Tampa Bay. North Division is the same except for Kansas City. West Division is the same except for, I think, oh yeah. So I added Kansas City to the West, and I took away the Astros and the Rangers, and I put them in my division. I'm going to be playing as New Orleans. So we're going to be in this division, the AL South. The only other thing that I did is I took the Rays, and I put them in the NL South. I took the Marlins and put them here. The reason for that is I'm a Blue Jays fan in real life, and the Tampa Bay Rays terrify me, so I just don't want to deal with them. So I'm putting them over there. Plus, like, we already have the Astros, so, like, I'm trying to win sometime this decade. But anyway, the Marlins, I mean, they went 82-80 this year. They're on the come up. They're going to be a team to watch out for. Texas sucks. Not worried about them. Well, maybe I should be, because that might suck even more. But yeah, Astros are here. That's going to be the Goliath to deal with. This one, AL East, same deal. I just took the what's that team? The Florida team, the Marlins, and I replaced them with the Rays, but you get the idea. North Division, I took St. Louis, the Missouri team, just like this one. But the difference is I put them in the South, because NL West, I couldn't really, I mean, realistically speaking, I could put them wherever I want, because there's no, it's a video game, there's no, travel logistics. But anyway, I just kept them the same, because, why would Arizona be in the South? I mean, it could be, but either way, I wanted it to be a little bit realistic. So the NL South is going to be Tampa Bay in place of the Marlins, because, I explained that, I just don't want to put up with that. The Cardinals, the Rockies, and the other expansion team, the Tennessee Toucans. I was thinking about playing as the Toucans, because I think their logos are hilarious that I put in, the little clip art. We're trying to find the other one. The little bird in their uniforms like super hideous, which I think is really funny. But we're gonna go with New Orleans, because in a different save I was playing on, there was an expansion draft that happened dynamically, and I added the New Orleans Corsairs. And at some point down the line, I met them in the ALCS, and I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but I don't know. This team kind of grew on me. I also do the the New Orleans Saints, so I figured it would be a good match for me at least. Anyways, yeah, back to the home screen. As you can see, we don't have anything. Players, yeah, we have zero. We have no players in our organization. So other than the expansion draft, I don't know how that's gonna work. I really hope I don't have to sign minor league free agents to play on my minor league teams, because that's just cringe. But we'll see. I might just have to do that anyway. Front office, there's nobody except for me. There was an option when I did the expansion draft to make it so that I could fill in all these roles automatically, but I just decided not to, because I wanted to make sure I got the GM and the manager role. I wasn't sure if that would be taken by somebody else if I did that, so I just figured I would leave it. I'll do this on my own. I'm going to do this on screen, because that's ridiculous. We'll get through it. But what I do want to do right now, okay, so yeah, we're also on the day of free agency, I should say, because it's right after arbitration, so this is going to be the off-season, so we're going to have a chance to look at some free agents, maybe sign some people, but the big deal is going to be the expansion draft, which I'm going to try and get to right now. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are in the expansion draft. As you can see, Toucans get the first pick, which is fine. The interesting thing is there's a lot of big names here on the reliever side. I mean, there's Aroldis Chapman, Kenley Jansen, Blake Trinan, Devin Williams. Just a lot of decent relievers you can get, which, I mean, that makes sense. Usually relievers, good relievers like this, are kind of a dime a dozen on the market, so makes sense. The batters, it's a bit of a different story. There's a whole lot of mediocrity here, but I guess that's what you expect, right? So yeah, either way, I'm gonna let the Toucans pick, and then I'll be back when I figure out who I want to take as my first player in organization history. Alright guys, so I think I've got it. The first pick, the Toucans, they took old Clint Frazier, which, I mean, You know, why not, right? He had an upside once upon a time. Anyways, so who I think I'm going to take is this guy, Steven Alameus. So the thing with him is he can't hit, but he can play a very good middle infield, which is something I value that a lot. I like good defense. He's a ground ball hitter, which sucks. He can't really hit. But the fact of the matter is, he's on a minor league contract right now, and he has no major service, which means that he's basically just the new draft pick for us. Which, you know, having a guy, he's decently young. He's 26. He can play good middle infield. At the very least, if the team gets like good quickly, he can become a bench player. Which, basically, I just feel like this guy has a lot of staying power. He's hurt right now. He's gonna be back in 4 weeks. It's like the beginning of the off season, so that's not an issue. So let me go ahead and take Steven Almaeus. I'm excited. The very first player in franchise history. All right, let's see who the Toucans take. They took Miguel Andujar. So the batters are going pretty quickly. I put on a filter to find a guy who had good range. Let me turn that off. Yeah, I guess I'll be right back again when I figure out who else I want to take. I might just do this for every pick, just so that I don't, I'm not just sitting here making people wait. All right, so I've got my next pick here. I went through some guys. I tried to find a good center fielder, like good defensive center fielder. That's how I like to build my team usually. You get a good shortstop, you get a good center fielder, and then the rest of the positions you can worry about having bats. But couldn't really find a good one. Maybe we can get one in free agency or just, I don't know, sometime down the line. But I decided to go with Kike Hernandez for the fact that he can, I mean, he's not a great hitter, but like he can do a little bit. And he can play pretty much every position in the game. So, I mean, that's not something you find very often in a player, but it is something that I think is valuable. He's a free agent at the end of this year. It's not like he's getting paid a lot anyway, but like, yeah, he'll be nice to have just to plug in some spots somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and take Kike. And then the Toucans took Cedric Mullins. I was just looking at him actually, but you know, it is what it is, right? So I'll be back when I figure out the next. All right, guys. So here's a pick that I'm actually very excited about. I think with our third pick, we are going to take Joey Votto from the Reds. So he's getting paid a ton. I mean, sure he's put up an okay season last year. Last couple of years, I mean, he's been pretty middling, but that's not really the point. The point is, he's a veteran. He's an established player, and just look at these personality ratings: green, 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 green. I think he's green in everything you can be, which is pretty remarkable. I mean, he's a captain. Like, I mean, I feel like this guy could be. He has a lot of the intangibles that you might like to see in a player, and I mean, if we're competitive by 2024, great. Maybe it won't be because of Joey Votto, but I think having him around on this team could be a boon. I really do. Also, when I did this this whole Corsairs thing on my other game when I wasn't playing as them, they actually took Joey Votto in that expansion draft as well. So I figure, yeah, we can go ahead and free the Reds from this contract of Joey Votto. He even has a team option for 2024, so that's interesting. If he just becomes like, you know, basically just dies and doesn't become a good player anymore, he's only here for 2 years in that case. So, yeah, let's take Joey Votto. The Toucans, they took a pitcher, so maybe I'll go ahead and find a pitcher of my own to take. It's gonna be hard to find some good ones, I feel like, but we'll see. All right, guys, I'll go through the starting pitchers, and I'm not gonna lie, it's rough. The best guy in terms of ratings. Granted, I don't have a scout yet, so these are all just like low accuracy scouting. So that makes this, you know, pretty interesting in terms of how my guys might look by the time I hire a scout and actually get some good opinions. But regardless, I think that my pick here is going to be starting pitcher Matt Ball from also from the Reds organization. Granted, nothing about this guy jumps off the page, but he doesn't have. I mean, the movement is pretty terrible. But like, if you look at this guy, for example, this guy, Tim Alderman, 25 movement. Like, this is the kind of stuff we're dealing with. So when you look at 40 movement instead, and like some, I mean, these aren't great pitches by any means, like great pitch ratings, but they are green. So take that. Oh, he also had low adaptability, I guess, but like, who cares? I don't even know what that does. So yeah, we're gonna take Matt Ball. He's also on a little hot streak, so what could go wrong, right? Next pick from the Toucans, they took Blaine Hardy, and yeah, this guy looks pretty mediocre. So glad I didn't pick him. Granted, I'm probably gonna pick plenty of guys like him, but we'll have to see. We will have to see. All right, we're back again. I took another pitcher with my last pick. To be honest with you, I just looked through all those guys and like they were just so middling and just mediocre that they pretty much were all the same. So I ended up hitting the scouting director recommendation. Scouting director recommendation, which is weird because I don't have a scout, but it came up with some guy, pitcher Dallas Beer. I mean, he's whatever. But what do you expect? But I have an idea of who I want to take for some position players now. So who I want to take first is basically between these three guys, which I'd like to take all of them, but I think I might start with Albert Almora because he has some great personality class ratings, and he can also play a decent center field. So I think that's something that I can get behind. His contract, I think he's in arbitration right now. Yeah, so we'll have him for I think 2 years at the least. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and take him. And these guys, he took Carlos Tochi, who I mean he's actually not a bad player. He's looks a lot better than he did in some of the other games that I've played. I had this guy on one of my teams in a different save, and he was just he couldn't hit, but you know, he could play a good outfield, which I guess is something they valued here. But apparently he's a free agent at the end of this year, which is weird because he doesn't have very much service time. But whatever, that's not my problem. So yeah, I think next I'm gonna take I think I'm taking Jake Cave. He's looks like he can hold down a corner outfield spot. He's not a great hitter, but he is a hitter, so can live with that. Take Jake Cave. They are going to take Kyle Higashioka, which is interesting pick. I mean, he can hit home runs. He can play good defense. That's another thing about another position that I value defense on a lot. I don't really mind having like a really mediocre catcher as long as he has like some good catcher ratings. Which I mean, this is not like as high as I would prefer for a guy who's gonna hit 190, have a below 60 OPS plus. But fact of the matter is, you know, we're expansion teams. We have bad players. It's gonna be a rule. So I can't fault them for that pick. Anyways, I'm gonna take Travis Shaw. He can play first base. He can play a little bit of third base. He has good ratings. Granted, he hasn't hit in the majors in years, which, go figure. I mean, he's not getting paid a lot. We're an expansion team. You get the idea by now. I do have Joey Votto already, which is I don't know, might make this a little bit interesting. But at the very least, well, we are gonna have a DH, so that's actually not a huge problem for me. Plus, Travis Shaw can play a little bit of third. I mean, he's not very good at it, but he can do it. So yeah, I'm gonna take Travis Shaw. These guys are gonna take Tyson Ross. I mean, it took a guy with a pretty bad injury. But again, this is the state of our organization right now. We're gonna have to find pitchers out of the woodwork. So yeah, I might go through a few more rounds, and then I'll stop if I find somebody interesting who I want to take. Alright guys, to be honest with you, I wasn't really sure where to go with who to pick, so I just started hammering the it's not there right now. Well, I'm not gonna really do this. Started hammering the scouting director recommendation button just to like get some ideas, and I just ended up going around 20, just picking guys. So I'll go through them all quickly. Here, this was the one after Travis Shaw was recommended to be Victor Gonzalez, who's the first reliever I took, and he's a decent looking guy. The thing about him is that his stamina isn't great, but he can start. So I'm assuming that like if you turn him into a starter, his rating will go down to like, I don't know, 3-star, 3.5 potential, or maybe 2.5 to 3. Either way, it's like better than a lot of the starting pitchers we can take. So, fact of the matter is, he has control. He can we can try starting him. If it doesn't work out, we can always put him in the bullpen. He'll be good there. So yeah, he's a solid little pick. That's 10 to 19.